I'm a big lover of books, and today we have a volume 3 of the Chrome book by DedeSignature. This palette is a third edition of the Chrome book, which means it's a palette full of sparkles. So chromes, multi-chromes, duochromes, sparkles are all in here. Some shades are split, some are full. We will do together. Also, we have 3 mattes, which are also possible to use in this whole makeup look situations. So we will do 2 looks together, and all the others will be swatched as mono makeup looks or as eye swatches I do, because I want to tell you everything about these shades, about how they're performing, what we are gonna do with them, and how it's gonna look, how it's gonna behave, which shifts I got, which not. We also have the base. This is a Lock-in Glow base that was launched together with this palette, and I'm super excited to tell you more about this one as well, because for some this may become a very staple piece. So we will get everything together. I will gather all the information for you about this whole thing. If you're interested to know how they all look, what I'm going to create with them, including this makeup look, and how we're going to proceed, what it is about in general, then my name is Val. Big thanks to the brand for sending me this in the PR, and let's begin. So this is the first pair, the first 2 shades. One is called Celestial Crown. This is Celestial Crown, and this is Liquid Heirloom, and they both look a bit different in the palette, but turns out that they both have semi-transparent base, and on the website there is no description actually of the shades. I think I have to ask about that, because in the production they should have specified it somehow for the production itself. And this is shimmering. It's very pretty, very nice. I applied both of them onto the Lock-in Glow, which is a new base. This works almost like a glitter glue, but first of all you have like 20 milliliters of it. It's slightly shimmering, it's slightly tacky. It's not exactly like a glue, like it's not so sticky. It's just tacky a little bit. So you apply a very thin layer all over the lid, and then you can swipe over it. So with the glitter glue you cannot swipe because it doesn't work that way, but with this one you can, and it grabs onto the pigment, and look at how shiny it is. It's just so smooth. However, I noticed that if you do not have enough time between actually like tapping the base on and then you like look somewhere, not doing this precisely, of stretching your eyelids after application, then it may actually get into the creases, and this affects also the application of the eyeshadow at the end. So they may go into the creases if you have this kind of situation. So I will try a couple of shades more without this base, because I want to compare how it is, like how it feels in general. And yeah, that's just a very interesting product, because the bases that I've tried so far from Dede were super good. They are very interesting to work with. You don't think that it's gonna work, but it works. So it's just, yeah, I think this is the same situation. And if this is like a glitter glue, but better in these terms, I would probably recommend that instead of NYX glitter glue, because yeah, just that. So underneath all of that I have, as usual, my MAC Multi-Sculpt in Brûlée, and then I applied the shimmer base because I wanted the shimmer to have the most output, and this is what we have. I do like this eye, even though usually I'm not the biggest fan of the warmer colors, but in this situation I kind of like this color. And here I'm not sure, because there is no description on the website. As I said, I'm not sure if this is actually supposed to be a multi-chrome, a duochrome, a metallic, or what it is. Because from one side, from one perspective, you can tell that this one is like a lavender base with greenish sparkles. So you can say it like that, because here you see the green sparkles, all of that is green sparkles, and this on the outside is the base, the lavender something. So I'm not sure if it's a duochrome or it's a metallic with separate base and separate sparkles. The same story here. You can also see something like a lilac-y almost in the base, in the shift kind of, and then you have this golden looks, golden green, like pale gold something, I guess. I'm not the best at describing things. I like to have a reference, but in this case I don't have a reference, and this is what we have. Yeah, Both of them actually look good. I would still do the proper makeup. I think one we will do together just for the sake of it. Once I'm gonna be done with majority of the things, I think I will take this one for the sake of it, like one of the split shades basically, and one of the dark shades because I want to try the darker shades on the whole lid. Others seem to be like somewhat similar to like I'm not sure how to describe that, but I will try to do my best to demonstrate how this all looks. But as far as we have 3 mattes in here, I think it makes sense to do at least 2 full face makeup looks. So that's the idea for me. That's what I'm going to do in the nearest, I don't know, hour or something probably. For you, for me, it's gonna be few days. That's just how it works. So yeah. So far so good. I'm loving the shades with the semi-transparent base. It just gives so much freedom kind of with application, because you can apply it all over the lid and you're ready to go. Or you can apply it in a very specific place, or in a corner highlight, or as a highlighter on your face. The application is unlimited pretty much. So I am so far really happy. So in this video the face is gonna change a little bit probably. I'm not sure how I'm gonna approach that, but for today on my face I have Juicy concealers. I have 2 concealers from the brand. I'm using the yellow one, like a pale yellow, to neutralize the purpleness in my skin. Blue under eyes with pink skin give me purple under eyes, and under eyes in purple can be neutralized by yellow. I have a lot of yellow concealer neutralizers kind of, because this is, for example, is Pro Concealer from LA Girl, and this one actually works wonders. I'm really happy with this one, and anything with slightly more pale yellow base will work for the neutralization. And on top of that I have my other concealers, which is Pearl Pink and Natural. Natural I use like all over the face dotting, and then I dot pretty much in same places with the pink. That way it kind of mixes into more of a my skin tone. At least I don't see big difference between where I don't have anything and on my face. So that's how just I approach things. Then I have NYX So Taupe. This is technically blush, but I'm using it as a contour. So this is my contour pretty much. Then I have the Cheer Up blush in Peach. I like the color, and this peach is very nice. I'm also applying it with the puff, so it's like a powder puff, little one, and this way it just gives a color instead of, like with a finger you do not get the same output for some reason. Then on my highlighter is Diamond Bomb How Many Carats by Fenty, just because it's so subtle kind of, and just silver-ish white, so I thought that it's not gonna be too different from the, yeah, too destructive, let's say. Then on the lips I have a bunch of things that Judy Doll has sent me for basically filming. I still need to make the swatches on the lips kind of, and this is the pencil in Soft Matte Lip Pencil. This is like a warm shade, W02. I'm not the biggest fan of this shape because this for me is not actually a lip contour pencil. This is something different, so I'm using it below as the like shadow for the lips instead of using it as a contour, because it kind of does nothing and the color is very subtle. So to me it's kind of the shadow for the lippies, and that's okay. I can work with that. And then I have number 104 Judy Doll Stay Shine lipstick. So this lipstick is like a PDRN or whatever it is, lippy, and it looks very nice actually. This is how it looks, and it has like this fun fancy ring, and it's doing the clicky sounds, and it turns back and forth, which I really appreciate, because sometimes you want to get a bit of a lipstick and you want to push it back, and some don't do that. This one is okay. So, and this is the color of number 104. So I will probably try all of them somewhere in between these takes, because I try to finish as much as possible in one filming session. So that's the reality of it. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have for now. I think I will try to remove all of that and to do the other couple shades. Then to make things interesting, we will do one more look together, then I will continue with the swatches, then we will do another look together, and then we will continue with the swatches. That's the idea. Okay, oh, for now, that's it. I will come back soon. So this is another pair, another couple shades that I've touched. One is called Cobalt Dynasty, which is the blue one. This is the Cobalt Dynasty. Make sense? Okay, and this one is Emerald Command. Emerald Command is a double shade, so it's a split shade, this one. This one is the Cobalt Dynasty and Emerald Command. Let's start one by one anyway. Cobalt Dynasty is... Let's start from the start. I did not use this time the shimmer base. Shimmer base is the same thing almost as a glitter glue. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It does make the output a bit more, like the payoff is more there, but it also may lead into shades coming into the creases of your eyelids, and I just don't enjoy that. So here I don't have this base and I'm not seeing any trouble so far. So the shades themselves are soft, slightly crumbly, but not oily. So you can expect them to be like little pieces, but they are really stretching and they are not oily, which I enjoy. I also like both of the shades. They are looking really good. This is kind of a teal situation with a green, and this one is purple blue. This one, as you can see, only goes into the purple. I don't see anything else in there in this shade, and this one goes on. So this is the first part of the split shade. Then in the center I mix them together, and outlines are with just the second part of this shade. So second part clearly goes into blue, but the first part also goes into blue, just a bit lighter blue. So these both shades are kind of, yeah, they're mixing together, they're working together, and they are creating this this eye look basically. I do like both generally. This one also doesn't really have a base, like the base is very subtle, so the shade is not as prominent as Energy Pulse in Nomad from the previous review, but it also doesn't give as many problems, so you don't really see the spots, that like bold spots in this shade, because it's not as pigmented. It's just lighter, and because it's lighter, it also kind of gives you an effect. But on top of the black, for example, and Dede has a black base, so you can use that for the specific purpose on top of the darker shade in general. You also can use the shade that is brown from here, Imperial Depth, just all over the lid to apply this shade, and on top of that it will look wonderful. So multichromes open up even more on darker base. That's why also on darker skin they look fantastic, and on lighter skin without the bases or anything, they are just what we see. Okay, so far this is all I can tell about the shades and about the situation with shimmer glue. Then together we will do this shade specifically. I specifically request everybody to have fun. So this shade and a bit of mattes will be our next one together. One eye I will do together with you on the shimmer base, and one eye I will do out of this format of the camera without the shimmer base, so we can actually compare how it sets. Because from the application until I'm actually like here explaining things, it's almost an hour, because I need to do the base, I need to take photos, I need to do all of that. And I think it will be more or less clear if the shades are actually going to be creasing or not together with that. It doesn't mean that it will crease on everybody, but my lids are that specific, and I have tiny creases all over, and they are partly hooded, so this is just reality for us, I guess, for people with the same kind of eye socket eye structure as mine. So that's the plan, that's the idea. Now what do I have on my face? I'm full of Tarte Shape Tape, not inside but the outside, and this is 20B on me. Unfortunately 20B in original Shape Tape actually dries into more orange shade. I have no idea why, but that's just what it is. The creamy one and the radiant one stay normal, so they stay beigey rose something. I don't see much of a difference, to be honest, but it's okay. Yeah, just something to mention, I guess. I applied later the Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC all over my face as well. So this is a light powder. This is not a powdered foundation, this is just a powder. I applied it with a puff, and it kind of looks okay. It doesn't make me overly matte, but I don't mind it. I just remembered that I have it, and that's why I tried it. Okay, then I have the Shelby Makeup Wolf palette. Actually, it's called Liperka, but it's a wolf woman palette for me. Then I have the same Cheer Up blush in the pink this time, because I think pink and blue look good together. Then I used the white part of the split shade, the green shade, as my highlighter. So the highlighter here and highlighter here, both the same. This is the split white from the Emerald Command. I think it kind of looks good in here, gives a bit more of a wet glow, something like that, something in that direction, I think. Yeah. And then on my lips I have a Judy Doll W02 Soft Matte Lip Pencil, almost does nothing. And then a number 106 of the same lipstick, so this is just another shade next in line. Stay Shine lipstick, very creamy, very interesting by itself. So I do like the packaging, I do like the shade. The shade is kind of a cranberry, I think, kind of cranberry shade, but doesn't overpower too much, at least. Feels nice, feels nice. So, and that's so far it. Tomorrow we will have a bigger round together. And I plan to have one look and a couple more shimmers to touch. So that's the idea, and so far that is it. So see you tomorrow. I will be back soon. So it is me, and today we are doing our makeup look together in order for us to take a look at the mattes and how they are blending specifically. So this is one of the tests I basically do, and I want to show you how the mattes are. And I, to be honest, really like mattes from DedeSignature, so I'd never had any problems with that. So today we are testing a couple things in here. First of all, I have MAC Multi-Sculpt in Brûlée on my eyelid, so it just allows for the better blending kind of. The finish is satin, it's not powdery, it's not sticky, not anything. So we will go with the shade Bronze Testament right into the crease, from the outer edge into the crease. I'm starting to blend it, and of course don't forget to place it onto the lower lid as well. This is a very nice terracotta orange, and I'm seeing that the blendability of this is really good. Like even on very simple, let's say, base that Multi-Sculpt provides, it looks really good. So then I want to go under my eyebrow to blend a little bit with the Royal Accord. It's yellow, mustard yellow something, and I'm just blending it outwards and just trying to create the outline of the eye basically in yellow outside of the main eye socket shape. I'm blending also bottom lash line and just keeping it outwards in there. Then I'm going to take a empty brush and just go over everything to kind of smudge them together a little bit. So that will provide me a bit of blendability more. And you can see that they blend together really nicely. After that, I will take a bit smaller brush, and with the edge of it, I'm going into the Imperial Depth. This one is more like purplish brown. So it's a brown with a purple undertone, something like that, and I'm placing it into the darkest area on the outer third of the eye where the V shape is supposed to go. I'm placing it there, and I'm slightly dragging it into the crease and onto the bottom lash line. So that will become my main kind of shade in here. As you can see, the center I pretty much left empty for now, and I think I will want to add the yellow into it. So going back to the Royal Accord, and I'm just filling in the shade here, the moving lid here. And onto the very corner of this whole situation, I want to add a little bit of white. I don't have a white shade in here in mattes, but I do have my lock-in base in Ivory Grip, which is a white base from DedeSignature as well. I'm taking a little bit onto the palm, and with a little brush from there, I'm taking it further onto the inner corner and slowly dragging it towards the crease of my moving lid. And that is the main idea. I will go over with the Royal Accord once again, just a little bit to blend things together. I think the mattes here work really well, really nicely blended. I generally enjoy that. Now we will go into our new look in glow, which is a shimmer glue to me. So this is a shimmer base which has a sticky properties. You need a little bit, a tiniest bit. I'm taking just like a bead of it, tiny amount, and I'm applying it with a silicone brush in tapping motion. You can probably see, maybe not, but I can feel that the brush gets sticky onto the lid, so it sticks to the lid and it's clearly happening. So the base is definitely something like a glitter glue, but not horribly glitter glue, but still, while you are doing that, please try not to look too much up, because then the base can stick to each other, to itself, and that will provide us with some troubles in the future. Once I'm done with that, we will go into the shade Molten Decree. This is the shade I wanted to try because it seems fitting to these mattes specifically. So I will go with the Molten Decree first part of the shade, which is like a white with yellow, the transparent white going into the yellow shift. It goes into my inner corner, stretching both to the lower lid and the upper lid. I am stretching it exactly how I started applying my shimmer base. The shimmer base itself, by the way, also has little sparkles in it, which is funny. It's not actually needed, but it's kind of interesting. I don't mind it. Then I will go with the center. I'm just scraping a little bit with my silicone brush, which I wiped from the glue, and applying and stretching it over the moving lid in the center. This base stops being tacky, so it grips onto the pigment and stops being tacky in that area. So it definitely just gets a little bit of pigment, and it's enough for it to just grab onto it and hold the pigment in there. The very last part is the darkest area, the pure brown basically, that also goes into gold. At least I don't see anything else. It will be blended towards our browns, and I think it just fits so nicely into the shades. Of course, the shades are more for the warmer tones and for the darker skin, in my opinion, even though I think that the Imperial Depth can be definitely used on its own by anybody as a base for a lot of multichromes in here. So this is something that I think is very specific. So the yellows and warm tones generally, like oranges, are not that good on me, but I don't mind them. Generally warmer tones are okay, but I think the specifics of this palette falls onto the darker skin and warmer skin, and that's why we have mattes in such a scenario. But I also think that they kind of melt together really nicely, so they are the gradient of things. And in previous palette, for example, we had like purple and green, and it was just kind of more random than this. This is a gradient, this is something that works together, and it still looks fine even on me. And the blendability of the shade is really good, and I'm just really happy right now to work with it. I don't see any big shifts or anything. I see a little bit of gold and a little bit of white, and that's pretty much it. Maybe the hint of green, but it's so subtle that I'm not really ready to admit it. So from here, I only need a liner, basically. I'm gonna use my black pot liners. So I'm using gel pot liners because those are not actually smudging on my eyelids. And I will come back to you with a finished face. That's the look I came up with. As the final solution. I am actually really enjoying it. The blendability of mattes was really great. They are blendable, they are absolutely normal to work with. They create this warm terracotta brown gradient, and I am not the biggest fan of warm tones of such intensity, so this is not my kind of... it clashes with my undertone too much. Like it's a complete opposite, and that's why I feel like I'm becoming more pink compared to the orange tones. When I had ginger hair, I also had this problem of my skin becoming too pink like a Peppa Pig. And this is the same situation which happens right now with this tones on me. Even though the makeup itself looks good, in my opinion, it was blendable, it was absolutely good, like great quality. However, I don't see duochromes or multichromes in this shade. Like, this shade is one of those shades that don't actually have a visible multichrome, duochrome, or anything that I can see. Because usually when I have the light from the side, even in Nomad, you could have seen, even in some of these shades that we already took a look at, you can see that they are having the shift. But here, this one, I don't see it. I can't. Maybe it doesn't actually have the shift. I don't know. I don't have a description. I don't have any information about that. But this is what I have. This is what we are dealing with. I used the shimmer base on this eye, but not on this eye. So when you apply enough pigment to cover up the base, it doesn't give any problems. So when I first started applying this eye, this one already started to like go into creases in this area. Right now I think it doesn't actually do that, so I don't have any issues currently. But when I first started applying this eye after this one, there was not enough pigment in the inner corner right here, and because of that it started to like eat itself up. So I just dabbed into the shade and placed it directly there. I did not swipe, I did not do anything, just placed it there. And that was enough for it to grab onto the pigment and stop doing that. So when you are applying enough pigment on a very thin glitter base, it works okay. And this also produces a bit different results, but not too significant in my vision right now. This one has a bit more golden shine, like just a bit more shiny in general compared to this eye. So you can see this one does have a payoff a bit like better than this one. This is definitely sticky, has a bit of a sparkles inside, but it's a whopping 20 milliliters of a glitter base that is better than NYX glitter glue in my opinion. It's not as tacky, it's easier to distribute, like just to separate in general, and I just kind of enjoy this one more than the glitter glue I had. There is a Pro Makeup Bond, there is different kind of sticky bases for the shimmers, but so far this one has been really good in these terms. As you can see, if you apply enough, if you know how to work with this kind of bases, I think it's wonderful. This one is a bit little compared to this eye, so you have a bit of a difference after all. So yeah, it does work, and if you like this kind of stuff, if it works for you, if you know how to just interact with it, I think it will be a wonderful thing for you. So far I'm pretty happy. This shade is more of a satin. So the brown part of this split shade is more of a satin. As you can see, it has a bit of a sheen, but not too much. And then we have this little golden something, golden element, like a sunset and golden hour kind of situation. I really like how it looks, but these are not my favorite shades to wear. That's just the reality. I also applied blue lenses because I think that terracotta oranges look really good with blue lenses. And I think if your skin is medium to dark, in this warmer colors, this can be your nude. So I think Dede is doing a great job in her products, and they are catered first, in my opinion, to the darker skin because Dede herself is darker skinned. It doesn't mean that they will not work on lighter skin, of course not. I think she keeps in mind everybody in this scenario, so it can work on anybody. But the appreciation first goes for the darker skin, and I'm loving it in general. Like, it's just looking so good even on me, and I'm pretty sure that it will look good on anybody else. So this is good. This is wonderful. The quality of shimmers is really good. I don't see a duochrome. This is the downside for me in this scenario, but it's very interesting shade in itself. It's very interesting, warmer toned, like it's a neutral makeup in my opinion because it's a warmer toned, something in orangey brown situation, and I think it just looks good as a good glam, let's say it like that. So I'm happy with this one. I think I will do only one today because it's already quite late, and I think I won't be able to make another one. So far so good, right? This is nice. I'm really enjoying it right now. I may work with this more, so I may actually introduce it to some other shades that I'm wearing, but we will see how it's gonna go. I want to find a way to work with sticky bases. I'm just not the biggest fan usually of it, but this one is promising. So that's what I think so far. And on this note, what else do I have in my face? The Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I found a way of using them under my eyes in a proper way, let's say it like that. I like the outcome of it, even though of course I have a texture, but I don't see much of a blue or purple under eyes in general. They are deep set. I cannot fix the skull, but I can fix the color. And this is exactly what I'm trying to achieve, and this is what I get. Then I have the Luperca by Shelby. Right now it's quite hot, and I try to not get into the creamy products too much, because they are, if they are not self-setting into powder, so powder contour it is. Then I have my beloved Danessa Myricks in Jubilee. This is cream to powder formula, so it does set into powder, and it's giving a bit of a flush of orange, so I thought that it's warming up the cheeks in the same way as the eyes, so I think it fitted. As my highlighter today, I used the same golden shade, and you can see it has a transparent base and it looks great. So the brown has brown base, but this one has a transparent base, and it's been quite interesting, I would say. Oh my god, it's so hot. I cannot open properly the windows because I have cats who try to run away into the garden because they think that the garden life is better than staying at home. Let's continue. The Romand Lip Mate Pencil in Taupey shade is the one that I'm using for the outline of the lips. Just the outline, nothing else. It gives a bit of a shadow underneath. So above the contour, above the line of your lips, you can make it look like this. I don't know if I like it so far, but we will see. And the Judy Doll lipstick is in 104 because I thought that this brownish lipstick will actually look nice. This one is a Stay Shine lipstick, and it does stay shiny. I like the shade. I may use it more often actually in the future. I got 4 of them, as I said, or maybe I did not say. I already don't remember. So I got 4 of them from Judy Doll, and one is this one, 104, 106, 109 and 112. They differ a little bit. This one is a bit more rosy, this one is a bit more peach, this one is a bit more brown, and this one is kind of in the middle between these two. So I filmed all of them. I need to edit this video and finally post it, so that's something. And I also have some highlighters from them, but I did not film them yet. I have a bunch of things to film actually, but the time, the work, my main job is actually very time demanding, and that's why I'm not able to produce as much content as I would like to. But it's okay, because then I can just earn some money and spend some money on the stuff I like without being dependent on the PR or opinions or anything else. So I don't have to say very nice things if they're not nice on the products. This is a freedom for me, let's say it like that. This is the whole hobby horse thing that I'm doing. So yeah, this is the outcome. This is everything. Tomorrow we continue with doubles, the one-eyed looks, and I need 2 more days to finish this video. So wish me luck and see you soon tomorrow. So our next pair is this one. We have the Aqua Dominion, which is a split shade with white and blue that goes into teal and purple. You can kind of see the purple here, but I would not say that I see lots of teal, like only maybe like this. Also you see a little bit of purple from the first part of this shade. So as usually I use the first white in this corner, in the inner corner, then I'm trying to mix them to apply everywhere, and then the very edge, the one that is like darkest, I place outside, so that it's actually like resembling a makeup, so you can say that it's a mono makeup, and this is what you get. The downside I see is that either I don't know how to properly work with this shimmer base, which is a user error in this case, because I probably tap too much in the very front and then I just swipe it further. So it's most likely user error, but it also can be the situation when this base is not working with every shimmer that is here. So some of them are more crumbly, a bit bigger particle pieces, a bit more sparkle, let's say it like that. And then maybe it's not gripping onto that the same way as it does with the smoother shades. I still tend to say that it's a user error as far as I'm not very used to using glitter glue or shimmer bases in general. I have the problems with this. So I also applied it with my fingers, and I don't think that is the correct way in this situation. I'm not sure, but it might be. And because of that, I have a feeling and visual as if it actually goes into the creases here in the front. It doesn't actually go there. Like when I look up close, it doesn't do much about that, but it feels like that. And because this shade doesn't have a base, the white one is actually transparent by the base, you have an effect of a naked eye, as if you did not apply anything in there. So this can be countered with the base. How I choose the base is usually monochromatic, because I like it to match, and I match it to whatever you see right in the front. It doesn't matter what you see on the side, because you don't always get the side light, like here, for example. So you need to match it to whatever you see in the front, and I use the same color kind of in matte as a base, and then I apply the shimmer on top. Then you kind of balance out this situation with like illusion of the naked eye. But if you don't have a base, this is something that may happen, unfortunately. I also see the duochrome actually here. It's not precisely a multi-chrome, even though technically it is, because you have a teal, you have a blue, and a purple. So it's a three colors already a multi-chrome. But yeah, it's a bit harder to judge sometimes. You have to inspect it from a distance, you have to inspect it from up close, and in macro I mostly saw blue and purple. This eye is the shade Verdant Veil. This one is a true multichrome. You can see the pink and yellow right away from this conversational distance, let's say. When you are in macro, you can see a bit of green, and I think you also can see a little bit of peach. This one applied very nicely. I like how it just stretches everywhere. You can also blend it pretty nicely. It will be looking good as a highlighter as well, so I'm into this shade. I think it looks nice, and when you don't have a light from the side, it looks like you have almost nothing and just such a wet, nice effect. So the wet effect is something I also enjoy in this mono makeup looks, because yeah, it's an eye swatch for me, but it's also a mono makeup, and because you have just the liner and all over the lid the same shade. You don't have to invent a vehicle. It also because I'm probably a very lazy person and I just don't want to make up things right now. I feel overwhelmed with the amount of stuff right now happening with the launches and things, and the shimmers that I have to touch, because it's a lot, to be honest. And I'm still waiting for some news on Diveroon, but so far no news, and that's just what it is. So yeah, these are the two. I kind of like both. I probably like this one a bit more because it lacks the effect of the naked eye in itself. But yeah, I still have to work through this to understand how to work with this the best. What is the best way, actually? I'm starting to think that the silicone brush was the right choice, and just placing it on my arm first, then tapping it with the silicone brush like this and tapping it on the eye, because then the distribution is a bit more even rather than with the finger. This time I tried with the finger. So yeah, it's most likely a user error. In majority of cases that I face, it's the wrong work with some specific formulas, so it's not a fault of eyeshadow or a product normally. It's a user error. But maybe it also falls into the category of I don't want to figure out how to work with this, and that's why I don't care. There is a difference. For me, as I'm reviewing stuff, I think it's important to find a way to work with this and to tell what is the workflow. Otherwise, it's just opinions, just opinions. And I'm telling you the information and you decide for yourself whatever you want to do with that, if it's something for you or not. And if I'm struggling with something, but I'm at the end always trying to find a way how to work with that. If I don't find a way, I'm saying about that, and that's about it. That's all I can do in the given time. But yeah, I will try to find a way, and I have ideas, so that's already giving me some hope. On this note, what else do I have on my face? I am again full of concealer of Tarte Shape Tape in 3 formulas: the Radiant, the Creamy, and the Original. I got 3 over the time, basically. I wanted to try the difference. I wanted to see how they perform on each, like on its own, and I'm figuring it out slowly. But I like the effect of the creamy one because it's less drying than the original, but the original sets very nicely, but also kind of oxidizes. It's not typically, like, I'm not sure about the term oxidization, because yes, on one hand, it's oxygen that affects the shade, but it's also just a drying reaction. It's wet shade versus the dry shade, so yeah. Then I have Mark Taylor Grey as my contour multi-sculpt today, and then on top of that I slightly went over with the Luperca by Shelby because I just wanted a bit more grayish rather than pink gray, just a bit more gray. And this is what I get. This is how I get the cheek contour, but it looks nice in my opinion. Then I have the Cheer Up, both of the shades mixed, so freeze-dried blush, pink and peach, mixing that up, applying, quite a refreshing look. As my highlighter today, I have Strobe White by Dior. This is a universal palette, old formula, old whatever. I bought it quite a long time ago, and this white one also gives a bit of a wet look. So it's not separate sparkles. A lot of luxury, like these luxury products in highlighters are actually quite flowery in feeling, and they do not give you like sparkles and stuff. It just gives you a bit of a wet effect, like something is happening but not exactly. In the sun, it actually has a lot of little tiny colored sparkles, but you don't see it in normal conditions with the electric light and stuff like that. Yeah, now let's continue. I have a Huda Beauty Toasty Brown. My nude one is almost finished, so I tried another one because I bought 3 of them and I go one by one. From time to time I change like a rosy to nude, and right now I opened this one. I like the idea of this stuff. I don't like that it's 1 milliliter and it dries really fast, so it just... too expensive for what it is, but it's a good thing. Like, not the fact that it's expensive, but the product itself is kind of a good thing. And I like it, but it also gives a bit more influencer-ish contour, so I'm trying to blend it as much as possible. And I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of things that influencers do, and I don't consider myself influencer. I'm more of a tech beauty reviewer, in my own opinion. So Judy Doll number 106, I released a video with 4 of them. Maybe you have seen it, maybe not. It's just a short video, 15 seconds or something like that. I like the formula actually. It's very nice looking, it's staying shiny, it doesn't dry you out, it has a bit of a color, like a balm with a bit of a color. So quite enjoyable actually. Colors themselves may be questionable. I would prefer maybe something more interesting, but that's me. So this is it. Next couple shades that we will do. This one is also split shade, I will show you that. And this one we will do all by itself, but maybe I will do it on top of this. I'm not sure yet, just because I probably need to try it on its own first, and the next one I will do on the mattes, so that I can have the representation of how the shades are on themselves versus the base. Yeah, we're almost done with that, and then tomorrow I will try to do 2 more and 1 full, so that we can have some things together. So far that's it, 11 minutes, damn, that was the longest talk for now. I gotta go and remove that, and we will see each other in the next pair, pretty much, soon. So this is the result of the second pair. The next pair actually. One is called Opaline Throne, is this one in a transparent base. It's double-sided, so it's also split shade One is pink going to yellow. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I will insert the stuff. And the other side is green going to blue. And you can mix them together. You will get something in the greenish direction for some reason. Maybe the sparkles are just mixing with each other. Yes, I see a lot of tiny sparkles here. It's very pretty. It's looking very nice. It has a transparent base. So it's a very good as a highlighter, as I also use it as a highlighter, and it's very good on its own. So pretty happy with this one. Cannot say anything truly negative. Also in this pair I did not use the shimmer base. For me personally, this is my preference. I like it more like that, but this is not a fault of the shimmer base, honestly. It's because I'm not very used to them and I don't know how to apply them properly. I do not like to work with it, so I have a bias here. And yeah, I'm totally okay if it's not as sparkly or smooth as on the base, but at least I know that for me it's controlled. With the shimmer base, I'm afraid I'm not very in control of how the things are going to be. So yeah. The second shade here is very, very interesting. It's a Violet Sovereign. This shade is right here. It has a ink base, so it's slightly blackish blue purple ink base. I really enjoy it. It's also a true multichrome with colored sparkles. So you have a multichrome sparkles basically that change the light. For example, here they are pink, but they also switch to peach, so orangey something. You can probably see it here, but I also insert the stuff hopefully for the editing well. This is something to do. And this is shifting in quite a few colors. I really like it. It's more of a smoky eye, so it's a smoky eye on a blue base to me. At least it looks like it's on a blue base. The base itself doesn't seem to have too many problems. At least I don't see like a really bold spots or anything. But of course, it's always better to apply on top of the mattes. When you blend the mattes, you also give yourself a bit of a surface. And after that, the shimmers just may stay longer. Not always, but sometimes it's the case. That's why I always apply mattes underneath before I apply the shimmer. I don't like the naked eye. I don't like this situation with the base that can go into the naked eyes. So to me, that's really important. And I just point out that the base can be patchy or not. In this case, I think everything is fine. At least more or less on my liking and on my eyes. Very smoky indeed. You can use it as a liner as well. This will be really cool as a liner. You may lose a couple sparkles in there, but it's totally okay. Sometimes this happens. Or you can use it for the smoky eye. I have a couple shades that I think, well, I have one shade in mind that I think is very similar to this one. And I will try to compare that in the final thoughts, as well as I will try to provide the same way as with the Nomad. I will try to provide the finger swatches so you can see the texture and the color in the natural sunlight. So it's not direct sunlight, it's more like dimmed kind of, but still I think it was really good to see what you get in the natural lighting. Not in this controlled electric light that I'm usually using, but in the natural lighting. So that way it's also easier to see which ones of them are multichromes, which are not, and blah blah blah. So far I'm very happy. I actually like this eye a bit more than the other, even though I usually prefer the shimmers without a base. So the transparent base is something that I truly enjoy. But this one looks so interesting. It's so deep, dark, it's so like witchy kind of. So I really really like this one. Also, I guess personal preference in this scenario, but that's what we get. Okay, for the face, nothing pretty much changed. I only changed the lipstick. This one is number 112 by Judy Doll. It smells like roses. If you don't like the smell of roses, you probably would not like this. It's quite a balm with a color, so it feels really nice on the lips. It doesn't really dry, at least for the past hour that I'm wearing it. It's not really drying or anything on my lips, and seems fine to me. Seems good. So far so good. This is the pair. Next pair also will be the shades, the couple shades basically that we will touch. And then the last shade I will do the full look once again with the mattes, so I can touch it again and I can tell you more. That way I feel like it will be just a bit more justified for me. Oof, quite a lot of work, quite a lot of things. I'm pretty happy still. Things are just going this way for me right now. I think June will be my overworking pretty much kind of month for the YouTube and for the content in general, but sometimes it happens. It just sometimes happens. So that is that. I think I did not change anything else, did not do anything else, and seems good to me. Okay, we will see each other tomorrow in the new pair. Wait for me. So it is me, and as promised, we are doing together one of the last looks. This is shade Midnight Authority that we are going to touch today, and I want to place it on top of the smoky eye. Smoky eye in warm colors that we are going to create. So let's start with the shade Bronze Testament. I already have MAC Multi-Sculpt on my eyes. Bronze Testament I'm placing pretty much all over the moving lid, into the crease, slightly above it, not too much. I'm trying to blend it nicely in here, so just placing it first and going over a bit later. Then I'm going to go into the shade of Royal Accord. This will be my main under the brow shade, so it's a blending shade for me in this scenario. Despite being so yellow, mustardy yellow almost, look at how well it blends into everything, and it doesn't really leave out like a horrible stain or anything like that. And I'm gonna take just an empty brush and go over the very edge of this yellow in order to get a bit of blendability more. Then we are going into our darkest shade, Imperial Depth. The same brush, the same scenario. I'm taking quite a lot of it because I need to cover up pretty much the whole moving lid. And I'm trying to keep my eye shape more or less within these round shapes. I try not to actually bring it outwards like I usually want to. I want to stretch the eye, and this one is more for the rounded shape. So we will try. Imperial Depth I'm bringing up almost up to the crease, and don't forget to place it onto the lower lid. This is going to be just the base for our shade, and it doesn't matter if you won't blend it perfectly. It doesn't matter how you blend your muds if you place shimmer on top, especially shimmer with some base in it. So don't run for perfectionism in this case, just run for some practice. And I'm going over back with the shade Bronze Testament and a little bit of the Royal Accord and a little bit of the empty brush. So this way I have my smoky eye ready in 4 minutes. This is pretty damn quick. And we're ready for our shimmers. Shimmer is Midnight Authority, as I said, and it's a multi-chrome. You can clearly see how it multi-chromes. It also has very interesting sparkles in it. There are all that are also changing colors. So let's take it on the finger, and I'm just gonna apply it with a finger because that's what I did for majority of these shades. Also, just a reminder, I don't have a sticky base on this eye. I will place it on the other eye for comparison purposes. So I'm taking it this way and just placing all over. Once I'm done with like packing it onto the lid, it will stick, don't worry. We can start blending it out, so I'm taking just a brush and going over the edges. Once I'm more or less happy with that, I will go back to the Imperial Depth with the same brush I used it on and just go over the edges once again in order for it to like darken up, because we have such a strong base on this color. It's more like a blackened green or slightly green black. I'm not sure how to describe it properly. It doesn't stain anything or doesn't leave the traces basically of the shade, but it's so pigmented. And this shade is super smooth on the finger when you smudge it all over. So it stretches really nicely. The same shade is supposed to... So the Imperial Depth is the first to blend, then I'm going over the same way with the Bronze Testament and Royal Accord and empty brush in order for it to be complete. And this way we are getting this warmer smoky eye. It's a little bit bruising on me because of the orange shade, but it doesn't matter at this point. I think I need to work through my waterline in black, but that will be pretty much it. I don't need anything else. I will apply the lashes, and of course I will do the second eye off screen, on the vertical screen in this case, and I will come back to you with the finished look, basically. So this is the makeup look. I am pretty happy about everything. It's super dark and super warm. The warmth is not the biggest problem in general, but for me it's about the combination with my appearance that actually doesn't look that good in my opinion. So I think on me that doesn't look that good, but the problem is not in the shades themselves, neither in formula, no in shade. It's just a personal preference of things that I want to see on myself and how the things are looking on me, because I'm cool pink, leaning neutral, and there is not enough warmth in me to make these shades just look better. So the blendability, they are pretty neutral. They are not gonna give you bruise completely bad eyes. Like even on my cool undertone, warm shades usually are super warm, and they are okay. These shades are totally okay. Both yellow and orange look fine by themselves. The most interesting shade for me is of course the Imperial Depth, because that one is quite universal and I think it's slightly purplish, and that's why it fits better to me. But also, if you did not know, purple, warmer purple used to darken up the red, and this kind of purple can be used to darken up the orange. I think that is why they are as aligned this way in the palette. I have no actual idea if that was the intention, but I think that they aligned this way for a specific reason, that this purple brown is great at being darkening for the orange shades. They are going into each other like crazy. So the shade that we are looking at is quite unique. I haven't seen such a shade before. We have seen the previous one and I will show you what it reminds me of, but for now this shade is relatively unique from the base perspective. I think the shift itself is not that unique. We have seen that shift, but in combination with the base and the sparkles are multi-chroming as well. I think it looks very interesting, and generally the makeup turned out very dark and very good. So I see it as very good makeup. So it's a good makeup day for me and good finishing up of the video. So I will do a couple more eyes because we have leftover shades here, but I will come back to you in this exact look for the final thoughts as soon as I will gather everything. So yeah, see you very soon. So our last pair in this palette, the last two shades, one is a split shade, which is called Infernal Rain. This is a pink and orange. Both of them actually go into the yellow-green. So they both multi-chrome into the yellow-green, but one is from one side, the other from the other side, because I placed them like that. So the pink one is in this area and orange one in this area, and you can see how it goes one to another, and it's pretty nice multi-chroming shift. The base is not too strong. I was also able to blend it nicely, in my opinion, so it doesn't give any harsh lines or anything. You can also blend it into complete nothing, just the shimmer will be left, basically, and this is also one of the nice things about this whole palette. And the other shade is called Crimson Legacy. Crimson Legacy is right here. It also goes to, so it has fuchsia in it and it goes to blue. So I see a blue outline, like a purple-ish side, and green sparkles here, and then I see the pink base, and yeah, that will be pretty much it. So it has a pink base. You have to be aware of that. And this is how it shifts. Also the same story. Can be blended without problems, so the pink base is not very problematic. It doesn't stain either, so we are totally good in here. I have some problems with my liner today, but that's okay. That's just happening sometimes. Not everything can be perfect, especially when you're working all the time with all the stuff and things like that. So this is the pair. I like both pinks. For some reason I think orange one I kind of like a bit more. I'm not sure why, but this one is a bit more cool. Like it's also fun, so I don't mind both of them. I think they both look good. These both are without the shimmer base, so I applied them as is onto the MAC Multisculpt, and it holds nicely to me. And I have some things to say about the shimmer base, about the preparing of your eyelids for this, and about the textures of this whole situation, so we are only needing some final thoughts. In the meantime, what do I have on my face? Pretty much everything is the same. Tarte Shape Tape as a concealer, the Sweet Cheeks by NYX as my contour today, the Cheer Up Pink blush as the blush, no highlighter, this is just the blush. I wanted just a little bit of blush without anything else. And on my lips today I have number 109 by Judy Doll, which is slightly like a peach color. I kind of like it. I think it looks cute. And that will conclude everything. And this is what we got. So only the final thoughts left. I'm gonna gather everything together, prepare for it, and come back to you with it. So see you soon. So I changed the lighting a bit for me, for myself, to actually separate where exactly the final thoughts and the intro versus where I was just doing some makeup look, because I'm just switching the format a little bit, switching the clips between themselves and just trying to make it a bit more cohesive in the final product. And in my head right now, as of now, in my head, I have no idea how much time it actually will be from this whole whole video, but I think it's pretty long anyway, because yeah, I've been speaking quite a lot in some moments. Let's talk about this whole thing together. So we have a palette and base. Let's start with the Look in Glow shimmer base. So the shimmer base is 11.95 in euros. This is 20 whopping milliliters of shimmer base. It has little tiny sparkles inside, which will help you adhere the shimmers to your eyelid. This is, in a nutshell, a glitter glue. This thing is the same as the NYX glitter glue. What? So this thing is the same as the NYX glitter glue, and if you were using glitter glue, for example, I know some people who cannot wear the shimmer without the glue because it just gets out from them, it gets creasing, it gets into troubles. To me, it doesn't happen. That's why I'm also not doing the wear tests, because the bases, the skin are different. There are multiple conditions in which something can go wrong or not. In my case, on opposite, if I use this, because I'm very bad at it. I am so not used to using any bases like this, like shimmer bases, glitter glue, and I'm very bad at it. And when I'm applying it, I'm constantly trying to blink basically, and my eyes are also partly hooded, so I have a lot of little creases on them, and this gets stuck to itself, and then I apply shimmer on top and it doesn't get the effect I want. So I'm bad at this. This doesn't mean that the product is bad. There are lots of human error in here that can happen. The same thing happens with the NYX glitter glue. I prefer this stuff when I need to do a line, like I need a glitter liner in a very specific place, in a very specific position, then I'm applying it with a brush thinly. I also have a silicone brush that is very thin. I'm applying it specifically to the area where it will not crease, and then I'm applying the glitter on top. Also, the loose glitter can be applied that way. So if you're using the loose glitters, if you're using loose pigments, if you're using the glitter glue in general, I think this shimmer base will be a savior for you. It also truly enhances the shimmer themselves because it makes it a bit more smoother. So the product itself is pretty good. 11.95 for 20 milliliters. It's like, for somebody it can be a game changer. So I know that is good, but it's not for me personally, because yeah, for me it's just a bit more problematic to work with, and on me the shimmers by themselves usually do not crease at all. I applied it in the best possible scenario I had with this glue. I applied it with the silicone brush right before applying the shimmer. I did not blink, so I was looking out at myself in the mirror at the bottom on the table. I tapped the glitter glue, the shimmer base, I tapped it in the specific place. Don't try to place it first here. Try to place it first in the center and from there go to the inner corner, because here you have a bit more area that is not actually getting that many creases. So it's better to tap onto something that is not so creasing and then go into the area where the creasing happens a lot. If you have more hooded eyes, even more hooded than mine, then you probably want to tap it off onto the palm of your hand, like you apply it from here and you tap it off here, and then you can go. And after that, right after that, you need to apply the shimmer without changing, without blinking much. So you need to tap on the shimmer the same way. That way it will be holding, that way it's working nicely. To me, otherwise, I'm just not very good at it, at application. I forget about things. I forget to apply the base sometimes. So this is a bit of an additional product, and in scope of reviews, I also don't use such things because I think it's a bit unfair, because I want to know how it behaves without majority of the changes. So I'm using the regular base that actually colors my eyelids, because I have a lot of veining, I have a darkened eye in general, so I'm using this MAC Multi-Sculpt in Brûlé that is very light in color, and I'm just kind of matching it to my eyelid, to my skin, and letting it set. It becomes a satin, it's more or less matte, so it doesn't change things, it doesn't change properties, and I can blend on top of that without problems. And that's pretty much it. So the base itself, if you are a lover of glitter glue, if you need something like that, then 20 milliliters is a lot. I haven't seen such big ones before, so $11.95, good deal in my opinion, for somebody who truly needs it. I unfortunately don't, or maybe fortunately, I have no idea. Now let's move on into the palette. We will go one by one. It's going to be a long outro. So it has a lot of ingredients here. It repeats the information on the box, so the box is pretty much the same. You can see the design. It's designed like a book. I love books. I love the book palettes. I love that there is a name on the spine. This is something that is very helpful when you're storing them. So when they're stored like this, like books basically, it's very nice to know what palette it is actually. So this is good. This is magnetic palette, and this is a pretty nice like it's quite a sturdy cardboard, I would say. It has a mirror as well, and it's opening like a book. I also bent it slightly more than I should have in order to achieve this, because I want to show you the stuff one by one. So we have 18 grams total for the palette, which means approximately 1.2 gram per refill. More than 1 gram is already quite enough, so I would assume that the split shades are also specifically put here to like increase the amount of shades you actually get, because if you count the split shades, you have like 10 shades and then also additionally others. So because you have 5 of them, 5 of the split shades here in the middle and here the row, then it's 10, and then you have additional ones. It's quite a lot. From the perspective of getting a lot of shades in a nutshell, let's say. So overall, let's talk about mattes first. The mattes here, I don't think they fit every shade in this palette for the shimmers, because for example, I can see this one working with majority of the cool tone shimmers, but then you also kind of get the situation of like just a liner, maybe some darkening, maybe some, like I have a lot of ideas in general of schemas that you can use, the halo eye, the cut crease, the others basically that you can use indeed with one shade only, but then you have to slap the shimmer on and maybe it will work, or you can do the mono makeup as I did here. So my eye swatches are technically a mono makeup look, and I went through all of this except 2 in which I did use all of the shades. Here we have the mustard yellow, which doesn't become very nasty looking, especially on me, because warm shades on me, on my cool undertone, usually do not look that good. These ones are looking okay. So, and they were really blendable. I truly love mattes by Dede. It's one of the best matte formula in my opinion, and you get 3 new shades basically. The orange one is a terracotta orange, and this is a very nice blendable shade for the crease, for the transition, and you can darken it with this purplish brown. I think it's a bit more purple. So as I said, the whole palette is magnetic, but they are sitting a bit deeper than usually, so you have like a 1 millimeter or a couple millimeters of space, so you don't get them like this. You have to put the magnet in and then you have everything. From the back side there is nothing, no shade names, no anything. So that's a bit of a bummer, but I mean, things will improve with time, I would assume, and I don't mind because I usually do not rearrange my magnetic palettes at all. So mattes, good. You can have mattes with majority of warmer shades, so you have like whole column here that you can use with the mattes. You can use also this, and you can use the darkest ones as well. About the greens, about the blues, I don't think that they fit into these two, so only one will probably fit into them, and this is still a possibility. Now let's talk about the shades one by one. So we go with the first row. I show you swatches and I tell you about things that I found. All of them, like majority of them I would say, except a couple, are a bit more crumbly. They are not smooth, but they're not oily. They are soft and crumbly. So you have little specks of pigment and they are behaving like you have to be a bit more careful when you are getting them on your finger, on your brush. It will work with the brush as well without too many problems, but they are soft, they're not very hardly pressed, and they behave like sparkles in such scenarios. So a lot of them are actually multi-chrome sparkles rather than something else. They have little sparkles inside. So the first one, the first row that I see, I took photos of it in the indirect sunlight. So when you have indirect sunlight from the window, for example, you can place your hand almost horizontally and you will see majority of the shift. Very easy to see, very easy to check things on. So I see this one as multi-chrome. Why? Because it has a silver, teal and purple. So we have the teal that you can see directly, then it shifts into purple like this, and it has a silver-ish sparkle somewhere in the middle. Basically you get somewhere from the teal, you get a bit of a silver. So it does change the color slightly, so I would consider it a multi-chrome. Next shade is golden with white-ish and yellow-ish gold. So it's not actually that seen as a multi-chrome. It's very subtle because it's more iridescent, it has more transparent base, so it's more subtle in the shift, which the shift is basically happening in the same kind of area. So you don't get too much of it, but it's still, I would say, still a multi-chrome. Then we have another one, which is also something in silver direction with the sparkles, and purple and blue. So you have blue that goes into purple, and it also has something like a silver sparkles on the side from the blue area, or like a lilac silver, something in that direction. I found out that sometimes the shift is really subtle in such scenarios, but it's still there. So you can see like 3 colors, but in majority of cases you see only 2. Majority of eyes also will show only 2. So up to you how to interpret that. It's duochrome, multi-chrome. In any case, it's a chrome because it's a chrome book. Next row we have a formula change a bit. So this side of this green and this side of this brown, this is more like a copper color. So these two darker sides are a bit more smooth. They're a bit more satin, a bit more with a slight metallic finish. So they are really smooth compared to more crumbly shades of the other ones. So this one, the first one, is green that goes into teal, and we have the white transparent going into blue. So you have possibilities to apply one or both or mix. Up to you how you want. But yeah, green and teal is quite strong in here. Then we have the copper. Copper doesn't actually change into anything, so this brownish shade kind of stays the same to me. like I did not catch anything that it shifts into, but the golden one is like it's white, transparent white that goes into gold, so it's more like a duochrome, and I actually really like such kind of shades, and it fits as a highlighter or anything like that, or all over the lid, so you can have at least one half of it utilized completely. Then we have another one. This one already not as smooth as the other two, so it has a bit more crumbliness in it. It's blue that goes into purple. Once again, we have kind of a purple situation in here, and also the transparent white that goes into purple. So both of them are shifting kind of in the same direction. And you also have the possibility of this as a purple to white. So I would consider this a duochrome, both of them. Then the next row we have, this is Verdant Veil. I thought it looks very similar to Tinsel from Sparkle Mask by Diveroon, but turns out that it's not the same. So this one is not a dupe to Tinsel, and they are completely different shades with a different bases. They only like reminded me because of this greenish stuff. So it's a true multi-chrome. I see a little bit of pink, a green, and like a golden peach, something in that direction. So this one is very interesting. You also have a full refill of it. Then you have another one, Opaline Throne, which is split, which you don't see because it's both sides of it are actually white. And then you have a pinky gold and a greenish, something in greenish blue direction, basically. It also has a lot of tiny little sparkles in it when you mix things together, so I really enjoyed this shade. It's very fun. And you also have two options. You can wear only the pink area, or you can mix them both, or you can wear only the bluish green area, so up to you. It's chrome. It's chrome, definitely. The next one is super interesting. It has an ink base, so something black blue with a hint of purple, like an ink from a squid, and it has multi-chrome sparkles in it, and the base, I think it also kind of multi-chromes by itself. So I see green, pink, peach, and yellow, and they are quite prominent. This is a dupe with Alley Cat by Diveroon. So the Smitten collection by Diveroon has an Alley Cat round refill, and this one is a dupe. They only have different textures slightly. Alley Cat is a bit more smooth, this one is a bit more crumbly, but also can stretch into quite a smooth base. Very interesting as a liner, as a full smoky eye. So I enjoy this shade because it's more or less unique. You don't really see that many dark base multichromes anymore, and it's a true multichrome as well. Next one, and then the next row, basically, this is Midnight Authority, which I'm wearing also today as my main lid shade. This is also a true multichrome with a green, yellow, and like orangey something. So you can see that it's a bit reddish orange, and then you shift it to a green, and it has like a blackened green base, or greened black base. So it's also very stretchy. It like a little goes a long way, and you have a bunch of things to do with this the same way. You can place it as a liner, you can wear it all by itself without a base, you can wear it with a base, as a smoky eye, as liner, so it's good. It's very interesting. I truly enjoyed this shade as well. These two are really unique in this sense. This one is more unique than the other, but still. And we are left with two more. Infernal Rain, we have the golden pink to gold, and we have also the orange to gold. Both of them, I would say, are duochromes. More or less duochromes. I think the pink side here actually is a multichrome, and this one is a duochrome, at least from what I caught with the different types of swatches that I did. So you have yellowish to pink and something in the green a little bit, but not too much for the pink side, and it appears more pink. Of course, you can add a bit more orange to it, or you can use them separately. Once again, up to you to decide how to wear it. Mostly it appears kind of pinkish to me, and it was fun also to see it on myself. The other one is more pink than the others, and I would say it's more of a duochrome with fuchsia base, so like something more pink with blue sparkles that go into these greenish sparkles that you see right now. Greenish something, yeah. It's what I also see, and I would say this is a duochrome. At least in sparkle terms, it's a duochrome. And that will conclude everything that I wanted to say about the shades themselves, the texture I described, the amount of them I described. If you like more than half of this palette, I think it's worth to buy. And this palette costs 67.95, so almost 70 bucks for the chromatic, the 12 shades that actually expand a bit more than that, into a bit more than that. So if you like more than the half of this palette, then it may be something for you, especially if you like the mattes as well. If you don't, then maybe you need to restrain yourself from getting it, because if you will not get a use out of it, it's pretty expensive, to be honest, because it's full chrome palette, so either duochromes or multichromes that are here, and it's understandable that magnetic palette of such shades will cost a bit more in general. Together, the shimmer base and this palette will cost you $74.95, so you save a little bit on the base, for example, or maybe on the palette. I'm not sure what exactly gets into the bundle price, and you can get a discount on both, and it will be a bit less than that, like 10% I think is a discount, so around 70 bucks for both, 70 euros for both. They can be bought on, I think, I Feel Beautiful Canada as well, on the official website, of course, which I usually recommend because the shipping and handling of taxes is already made in there, but you can also buy it on a retailer like a Monolith. And yeah, I think if you really like more than half of these shades and you want to try the things out, if it's your maybe first chrome palette with the transparent bases, multi-chromes, including everything, and if you just enjoyed it, then I think it's worth it. It's a very interesting product in itself. The quality is good. It's magnetic. You can rearrange things. You can take them out. You can place something else in. Up to you to decide how you're gonna proceed with that. For me, it was just fun to work with, and I think I enjoyed the this format is kind of really enjoyable for me as well, because sometimes I don't want to think about the combinations of mattes in my looks, and I just want to place the mono makeup on myself and go with my day. And this really helps to understand how the shades are acting by themselves, what they are providing, and how they look in general. So let's have a look on all of the makeups and mono looks, eye swatches that I created with this palette. There are total 12 of them because there are 12 shades in the palette itself. And I could have done more, honestly, but I think it's already more than anything that I have been doing for the past couple of years at least. So I do enjoy the eye swatches. I enjoy these looks. I feel like I'm building a catalog kind of the shades. It's also very good for me to understand how they are and to understand how the shades behave, to get a bit more experience with these things. And I think it's just generally useful for finding out if the palette is for you. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and give it a like, subscribe to the channel, leave your comment down below. I will be really appreciating everything, and I will be happy to read what you think about everything, about the format, about the palette, about all of this. And I hope we will see each other really soon. Thank you for watching, and until the next video. Bye!